Classic American-made work boots. Thorogood has been making boots in America since 1892. Now today we've got something super exciting. We're going to be tearing this new pair of Thorogoods apart, ripping off the Christie sole and giving them more rugged, logger style sole. You're going to get to meet Ricky Wyatt, the founder of Wyatt Dad Shoe Repair, and he's going to tell you a little bit about an American-made cobbler shop as he recrafts this pair of American-made boots. So without further ado, roll that montage.
I started in 1975. I was 16 years old. My dad was a minister, and he was pastoring a church in Rockingham, North Carolina, and one of his members, Horace Swells, had a shoe repair shop and asked me if I wanted a part-time job. So I went to work for him, and he taught me the basics of shoe repair.
How long did you work there?
Probably about 15 months. I went back a couple times and worked for him here and there. It was while I was still in high school. After I got out of the Navy, I went to and found a job in Raleigh and worked and ran a shop there for a year or so, and then after a couple years I ended up here in Winston-Salem and started working for Kay Conrad, who owned this shop, and I worked for him for about 3.5 years, and he was ready to retire, and I enjoyed shoe repair and thought I could do a better job of running the shop than he could. I saw a lot of potential for growth, and so I bought it January 1st of 1989. After it grew so much, my dad was getting ready to retire from the ministry and was looking to do something, and Tony had always wanted to be in business, so we decided to make it a family business. Tony actually came into the business first, and we wanted to put our name on it because we wanted to own more than one shop, and we wanted people to know who we were, and so we put our name on it. And since Tony and I were in it first, we decided we'd call it Wyatt and Dad instead of Wyatt and Son, since Dad came into it last.
So why shoes? Was it just something you always came back to, or?
It was something I always came back to, and one day I realized that, one, I was good at it, but two, I really enjoyed the work, and that makes a difference. It's hard to be good at something you don't enjoy, and it's hard to enjoy something if you're not good at it. So when Tony came up, we were extremely busy. We were working probably 90 hours a week to start with, and we worked on trying to make our shops more efficient. And so after working a 16-hour day, we would sit down and discuss what we could do to make it more efficient. We did that for probably a year, and when we were finally able to put everything in place, instead of coming back and working for about 6 or 7 hours after work, we went home with all the work done.
What do you think of how shoe repairs kind of changed recently?
Well, it's changed. It's changed constantly over the last 30 some years. We used to do primarily leather and rubber soles, and probably 60 or 70% of them were stitched on. And then you had your cement constructions and your what they now call Blake stitch construction. Then it evolved into a lot of the unit soles that we see today. That's a lot of the business. And then, but it was always taking something worn out and making it usable again. Now, a good part of our business is a shoe that's brand new and changing it into something a little different. This will still be a good work boot. It just won't be the same style that it was before. People have always liked craftsmanship, and they appreciate quality in whatever they're buying, whether it's shoes or clothing. They like the craft beers because it's more personalized. It's done by hand, and once you really get into it and appreciate that thing, you find the quality there. Let's see if this heat helps get this midsole off. Either it's not helping or we didn't get enough heat. Oh, there we go. Gotta get it started sometimes.
What hasn't changed about shoe repair?
Oh, the basics. It's still taking them apart and putting them back together. It's still hands-on. The one thing that Horace told me, probably more than he told me anything else while I was working for him, is if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And having a connection to the quality of the work that you're doing, the products that you're working on, make sure that it's as good or better when it leaves you than it was when you got it. I think that is a constant, and the people that do it are going to be the people that enjoy doing it. If you just like working with your hands and you don't really love the shoes so much, you're probably going to find work where you're working with your hands. I think the people that work on the shoes and boots now really appreciate what they're doing.
So what's next for Ricky Wyatt?
Oh, I'm semi-retired, taking it easy. I've trained people as much as I can train them. They're craftsmen now. They don't need my help so much anymore. Oh, I'll be here from time to time, so you might find me here, but more than likely on the lake. If you want to find me here, call in advance.
Any advice for future would-be cobblers wanting to get into the business?
Find a good teacher. If you find a good teacher, he'll teach you in a way that you enjoy what you're doing. And that's what really counts, is that you enjoy what you're doing.
Hey everybody, I'm obviously not Ricky. The reason that I'm the one finishing up the video is because these 100 soles are such a dense rubber, it's best to let the glue sit overnight and cure up and get the green time out of it before you go to cutting on it and trimming it real well. And the lake was calling Ricky really hard, so he took off to enjoy the retired life, and you guys get me for the finish up on this thing.
No, yeah, I mean, you can just pull it out. Yeah, that's fine.
Put the apron on. Alright, so here we have it. Pair of Thorogoods, switched over from the Christie sole to the LOGGER package that we have, upgraded to the thick leather midsole versus the standard leather midsole. I think that thick leather midsole really blended in well with the welts and gives it a good profile, better than the regular midsole. Plus you get more stability and support from a thick midsole than you do a regular midsole. Cinched it in with the brass screws around the ball of the foot area, so we got good stability. We're not going to worry about anything coming apart, which mostly the glue is going to take care of everything anyway, but just a little safety net we put in there. Plus I think it looks cool. But anyway, this is it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we got to get these packed up and shipped back to the owner.